Hey folks, welcome back. I'm Buckethead Traveler and this time we are in Luxor. Once known as Thebes, Luxor was the capital of ancient Egypt for centuries. Pharaohs ruled here, temples rose from the sands, and every stone has a story carved in hieroglyphs. And yes, I came here in July. 48 degrees of dry desert heat. Not the brightest idea, but absolutely worth it. From tombs to temples and sunsets on the Nile, here are my top 7 experiences in Luxor. Kicking things off at number 7 is the Watania Express, probably the most elegant ride you'll take across Egypt. This luxury train isn't just transport, it's a full-on vintage experience. First-class cabins with old-school charm, curtained windows, warm lighting, it has everything. The lounge car is a total gem. You can sip a hot tea, light up a cigarette if that's your thing. Yep, still allowed. And watch the Egyptian landscape glide by with your travel buddy. Honestly, it's not just a train, it's nostalgic cinematic therapy on rails. Number 6 on the list is the simple but stunning experience, driving across the brand new bridge that connects the north and the west of Luxor. This stretch over the Nile isn't just practical, it's poetic. The Nile, the longest river in the world, has been Egypt's lifeline for over 5,000 years. Pharaohs bathed in it, farmers fed from it, and now we are just cruising over it with the AC on. And as you drive, you'll see Luxor spelled out across the railings, clean, bold, and weirdly emotional. The water flows beneath you, the desert frames the view, and in the distance, those rocky cliffs. That's where the tombs of the nobles are carved in. Over 400 tombs, all stacked in silence, watching the river like eternal spectators. And then boom, on your left, the Colosseum of Memnon. Two 18-meter tall statues of Amenhotep III just casually guarding the road like ancient bouncers. At number 5, we are slowing things down, literally, with a horse carriage ride through the streets of Luxor. It starts off simple, clip-clopping past the magnificent Luxor temple, golden under the late sun, and then waving through the old city lanes. You pass bustling markets with the smell of spices, kids waving from alleyways, and cruise boats lined up neatly along the Nile. The river's right there, calm, white, and timeless. Then comes the Grand Winter Palace. Once the royal stopover for 19th century elites, you're moving through history at horse speed. The drivers, many of them 3rd and 4th generation, know every turn, every shadow, and every shortcut that doesn't involve a speed bump. And then, plot twist, halfway through the ride, our horse needed a new horseshoe. No panic, just some classic on-the-spot farrier work, hammer hoof dust flying like a pit stop from another century. There was also the classic souvenir detour, a papyrus shop, a bit of polite haggling, and a wallet that walked out feeling slightly thinner. Fourth on the list, Karnak Temple. And let me just say this, if you think your Monday meetings are endless, try walking into Karnak. This place isn't just a temple. It's a full-on ancient city made of stone, the largest religious complex ever built in human history. Over 2 square kilometers of chapels, pylons, statues, and hallways that keep multiplying the deeper you go. And the entrance, it's a commitment. You keep walking and it keeps unfolding like Egypt's version of a never-ending hallway. Pro tip, wear white in July because it's hot enough to fry your spirit on sandstone. Then bam, you are inside the hypostyle hall. 134 giant pillars, each over 10 meters tall, packed in so tight you could lose your tour group in 3 steps. These pillars are carved top to bottom with hieroglyphs, pharaoh, sun disk, offerings to God, the whole divine PR campaign. And somehow, some of the paint is still there, thousands of years later. There's my friend dancing through the columns like it's Coachella 4000 BC. Meanwhile, I'm frozen, geeking out over a scene of Ramses II smiting enemies under the gaze of Amun-Ra, basically the ancient Egyptian version of a flex. Pillars, carvings, math nerds, it's a whole academic rave scene in sandstone. And just when you think you have seen it all, we come across a group of over-enthusiastic travelers crouched in the sand, drawing shapes, trying to decode the layout of Karnak like it's the Da Vinci Code. For history lovers, Karnak is a must visit. Taking the third spot is the hot air balloon ride. And yes, I actually woke up at 3:30 am for this. That alone deserves a medal. It starts with a quick hotel call, clothes on, and a short boat ride across the Nile in the dark. The team from Sinbad Balloons is already there, setting up and briefing everyone as we cross. We arrive at the launch field. It's lit up with balloon canopies laid out like sleeping giants. Fans are roaring, flames rises as the balloons begins to fill. It's loud, warm and surreal. The crew checks the wind, green light. One by one the balloons rise, glowing from within. You are standing right there as they come alive. We climb into the basket. The pilot from Sinbad is calm, funny and clearly experienced. He walks us through the landmarks we will see. Then lift off. The view opens up. Other balloons float around us, some already high above the cliffs. There are over 100 hot air balloons flying over Luxor each morning, making it one of the busiest ballooning spots in the world. That's when me and my friend finally look at each other, half asleep, smiling. Below us is the Valley of the Kings, over 60 royal tombs carved deep into the desert hills, a true open-air museum of ancient Egypt. As we drift, the pilot points out each site. The Nile cuts through the field like a silver ribbon. To the west, the temple of Hatshepsut stands tall against the cliffs. One side, endless desert. The other, green farmland, palm trees and villages just waking up. The contrast from up here is incredible. And after landing, we are handed a flight certificate. Sinbad Balloons has officially certified us to float. Alright, sailing into number 2, a Felucca ride on the Nile. And trust me, this one, pure Feroic poetry. We head out just before sunset, the golden hour, when everything looks 10% more magical and 100% more Instagrammable. First, a slow walk along the port side and you spot it, your Felucca. White sail, wooden deck, a quiet captain who looks like he has been sailing since Ramses was in diapers. He hoists the sail like it's a sacred ritual, and just like that, whoosh, we are off. There's no motor, just the breeze and the Nile, and suddenly the world slows down. The city fades, the temples in the distance feel like ghost stories, and that sunset, hiding, then peeking through the Felucca sail like it's flirting with your camera lens. If Indiana Jones ever needed a dating profile pic, this is where he'll get it. Feluccas like this have been gliding across the Nile for thousands of years. Even the ancient Egyptians used them to sail between temples, farms and festivals. So strike a pose near the mast, look dramatic, pretend you are on an expedition. Bonus point if your scarf blows in the wind. As the sun dips lower, the river turns into liquid gold. You drift, you stare, you fall a little in love with the view, the movement and the Nile. This river has carried pharaohs, traders and storytellers, and for a moment, it carries you too. And when you return, don't rush off. Grab a spot at one of the dockside cafes, sip a cold juice and just sit there. Watch the other Feluccas come in. Watch the crews light up, docked and glowing. Let Luxor do what it does best. Remind you to pause, breathe and soak it all in. Number 1 on the list, the Valley of the Kings. No shocker there. Now listen, don't be a hero and try to explore all 60 plus tombs. It's not a side quest, it's a heat trap. I picked 4 absolute bangers worth every sweaty step. First up, KV2, Tomb of Ramses IV. Ramses IV ruled during a shaky period of 20th dynasty. Lots of ambition, not a lot of time. But his tomb, surprisingly refined. You step in and it's like entering a celestial scroll. The corridor is a parade of gods, spells and stars, all painted in rich blues and sun-faded gold. On the ceiling, the Book of Nut, the sky goddess stretched across the heavens. On the walls, scenes from the Book of Caverns, Book of Gates, and Amduat, a full anthology of the pharaoh's journey through the underworld. Ramses didn't mess around with interior design. The burial chamber straight ahead holds the red granite sarcophagus, massive, cracked, and still commanding. And the colors still vivid 3000 years later. And this tomb is still giving power move energy. Up next on the trail we entered KV8. Tomb of Merimta. This tomb is huge, long corridors, wide ramps, and the deep tunnel walk feels like descending straight into history. Merimta was 13th son of Ramses II and ruled late in Egypt's 19th dynasty. Despite the short reign, he got a grand tomb, 54 meters long, carved deep into the Theban rock. The decoration, sharp and bold. Scenes from the Book of Gates and Book of Dead line the walls, guiding the pharaohs to the afterlife. At the end lies the burial chamber where his red granite sarcophagus still rests. But don't miss what's right at the entrance. Merimta facing Rahorakti, the sun god. That movement sets the tone for everything in sight. We didn't go in KV62, Tomb of Tutankhamun, overcrowded, overpriced and empty. Literally everything inside is in museums. Just take a pic at the entrance and save your pounds and your patience. Then comes KV9, shared by Ramses 5th and 6th, because Pharaoh's real estate is apparently expensive. This one absolutely stunning. The artwork here is a cosmic trip. The ceilings are covered in the Book of Day and the Book of Night, with Nut again swallowing the sun and birthing it anew. You descend past gods, demons and judgment scenes until you reach the main chamber, where a massive broken sarcophagus lies shattered at the base. Last up, KV11, Tomb of Ramses III. Egypt's last great warrior pharaoh, he fought off invasions, survived a palace conspiracy, and still managed to build this masterpiece. His tomb is long, winding, and features detailed battle scenes, sacred rituals, and hymns to Osiris. The Book of Gates lines the walls, charting the journey of the soul through the 12 hours of night. Honestly, it's the perfect tomb to endure tour, myth, might, and mystery in one tight package. And that wraps up our top 7 in Luxor. If ancient tombs and Nile sunsets got you hooked, check out the Cairo episode next. Pyramids, markets, and more chaos. Like, comment, subscribe, and remember, in 48 degrees Celsius heat, hydration is the real pharaoh. See you in the next one.